Welcome back to News Talk. Since 2009, the Grassroots Project has become a staple in the D.C. community as they strive to make our city healthy. And here to tell us all about their initiative, we've got Ryan Springer. Also, David Lincoln and Simone Counts, all part of the Grassroots Project. Good to see you all and welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so Ryan, let's start with you because you're a board member. Tell us a little bit about the Grassroots Project, how it got started. What's it all about?
Sure. As you mentioned, it was started in 2009 by Tyler Spencer, now Dr. Tyler Spencer. He just got his DRPH from Oxford this week, I guess. And so Tyler was a student at Georgetown, and so he wanted to, work with the students in the community in DC, and so he decided to form Grassroots Project. And so Grassroots really works with DC youth around their sexual health and HIV prevention. And so the unique piece of it is that they have these student athletes, David and Simone, have played that role, working with youth in DC to really engage around HIV prevention and sexual health.
Now, see here, I thought it was about literacy.
And it's
you're
health literacy.
talking about HIV prevention.
Health literacy.
All right, so it's
really
everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you go into the schools. We're talking about high schools or?
So middle school.
Middle schools.
And of course, I'll let them get into the details of it, but we are in, I think, 15 schools at this point. And so there's a curriculum that Grassroots developed, and so they have weekly programs with the students. And they're using sports and activities as a way to really communicate the information about health and wellness and sexual health.
All right. Well, let's bring on the students here that actually do the heavy work here. We've got David and Simone, and you're both student athletes, varsity athletes. Simone, what school do you go to?
I attend Howard University.
And what is your sport?
I run cross country and track and field.
Wow. And David, how about you? What's your school and your sport?
I'm at the George Washington University. I'm on the rowing team there.
Wow. All right. Well, Simone, how did you get started in Grassroots?
When I was a freshman, I came and I saw all these different athletes wearing the Grassroots t-shirt, and I went up to them and I asked them, what's Grassroots? And they just gave me a brief definition of what they do, and just really attracted me. I'm also in the healthcare field, so Grassroots, like Ryan had mentioned, goes with public health, and that's just my passion. And so I was like, hey, this is something I want to be a part of.
Wow. So give us an example of something that you've done with the students.
Yeah, so I'm the spearheaded the girls' curriculum, and this was a really good curriculum to get women empowerment and to get the girls involved in decision making and just being and connecting to women and knowing that they one day can be leaders too. So during this girls' curriculum, we really connected, and it was a really great way for them to feel comfortable and talk about different health issues, and just.
Wow, sounds great. So who developed this curriculum? Ryan,
this was actually, no, I wasn't a part of it for the development, but Tyler in the beginning, he worked with, I think the original program was in
Grassroots
soccer in Africa.
South Africa. They're all over the place around Africa now, but so Tyler, back in, he'll get mad if I get the date wrong, but maybe 2007, I think, he was an intern for this organization, which does something very similar to what we do. They take a population, in their case, it was actually a lot of professional soccer players, and train them as what we also call coaches. So what we do with student athletes, they did with these soccer players to run these sports-based interventions in towns in South Africa, focused around drawing people in with the power of soccer and sport, and then educating them about HIV, healthy choices, making the right decisions, and avoiding risk. So that's basically, we've since changed the curriculum quite a bit, but we do a similar thing here in DC.
Wow. Were you part of it when the group went to Africa?
So yeah, so back in 2015, we took 6 student athletes, a couple board members, our then executive director, and a few staff members to South Africa, in part to meet with some people from the Grassroots Soccer, and also a number of other really amazing nonprofits that are doing similar sport for development based programs around that area.
Such a great experience.
It was incredible. It was really, I mean, I owe a lot to the Grassroots Project because it was very formative personally for me and what I want to do with my life, and it really, I think we were able to learn a lot there and bring it back to what we do here in DC.
Wow. So now you brought that program back here. So what schools have you been into with that program?
So it's changed since we started in 2009. We've been doing a couple, the schools have changed a bit. Right now we're in quite a few charter schools around DC. We've been in some of the DC public school systems in the past few years. It's pretty much always changing. We're always looking to get into new schools and meet with new kids. Wow,
that's great. So I want to talk, Simone, a little more about this girls initiative, because when you talk about HIV prevention and those kinds of things, and sexual education. I mean, it's really important for everybody, but especially for women.
Definitely.
Who, you know, it could be life-changing, the decisions that they make as young people. Tell us a little bit more about that curriculum.
Definitely. So I definitely think it was very successful, and if I can choose one word to sum up the program, I would say impactful. Just from the beginning to the end, you can see the transformation of these girls and how much they've learned and how comfortable they feel. And relating to comfortable, it's now we're in a place where it's woman to woman, like I had mentioned before, and they feel comfortable talking to someone who may be similar to them and have similar issues. So, like I said, I just think it was very impactful, and that the women left, or the girls left, with ways to be able to make decisions for themselves and know that they are important, and so is their health, and putting themselves first.
Now, do you feel that the kids at the middle school level are very receptive to your message? I mean, is part of it that you guys are athletes and you're doing fun, athletic kinds of things with them?
Yeah.
What kinds of things do you do?
Yeah, I definitely think that Grassroots is very unique in a way that we have a curriculum that's very interactive, and we're playing games, and it's not just a lecture and boring for them. So that's why it's really important to play these games, because they get involved and they want to answer questions and ask questions. So definitely a very interactive way to teach them, and I think they really appreciate that.
There's a quote on the website, if you go take a look. And so this 8th grader said, and I think she summed it up perfectly. She said, "The games are fun, the coaches are cool, and I actually learned how to protect myself." I think that sums up exactly what Grassroot does.
So you got to entertain them a little first
Oh,
to
yeah.
get their attention.
Some cool coaches.
We definitely play some games that don't necessarily have the high-minded educational values of some of our other games, but it's all about really building a connection with the kids, establishing the coaches as mentors, and getting them really close. And in a lot of cases, for these kids, they just don't feel comfortable talking to their teachers about some of these more sensitive issues. And our goal in a lot of ways is to just give them another outlet to talk about some of really tough things in their lives that are very, very important.
Very important. And do they look upon you as the cool
That's what we hope
older
for. That's
kids
definitely what
that
we
are
hope
coming to
for.
our school
Yeah.
and look up to you? And
Absolutely.
Yeah?
I can't vouch for every single program, but that's definitely the goal that we have overall.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they really love you coming in, because they'll be like, "Oh, are you going to be here next week? Make sure you're here."
Yeah.
So
Wow.
they really look forward to seeing you.
And to say again, I think that's a really important piece of it, where you have the impact on the youth who are in these schools, but then also you have our coaches and our athletes. And for them, this is great development for them, throughout their college years as well. And so I think that two-part component to it, combined with the athletics piece of it, is a great and unique component to Grassroot and what they do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
David, you mentioned that this has impacted what you want to do with your life. Tell us a little bit about
Yeah, so
what's going on.
I can tell you, I got involved with the organization not necessarily because I knew a lot or cared about public health in DC or around the country, but I did it because it sounded like fun. I had friends who were doing it, and it was a good way to do community service. And from there, I really gained more of a passion for this cause, and also for the cause of using sport as a form of helping people, because I really think it has that power to have a great influence on people's lives. So that's kind of influenced how I've been looking at jobs in the future. It's influenced internships I've taken. So it's really, I could say it was a very life-changing experience.
Wow.
joining the
So what is
Grassroot
your
Project.
major, and what are you going to do after school?
So I'm actually an economics major. I know that I probably won't be doing economics after school. That's just, maybe part
Just
being
what your
part of
degree
Grassroots.
is.
Yeah, it's
Piece of paper
it's
in the
been
pocket,
a great
right?
education from GW, and I think it'll help me, but I definitely want to stay more involved in the nonprofit side, probably focusing on sport for development internationally and also here in the U.S.
Well, this will be a great resume builder for sure.
I hope so.
And Simone, what's your major, and what are you hoping to do when you graduate?
I'm a health management major, so Grassroots hits right on
Wow.
my passion with for public health. So after I graduate, I plan on getting my master's in public health, in business administration, and hopefully one day create my own nonprofit just like Grassroots, and just be a leader in the healthcare field.
Would you say that this has been life-changing for you as well?
Definitely. Just such an incredible experience to work with my colleagues and the children.
Wow. So, Ryan, do people need, are you looking for more people like these bright students to get involved in the project?
We need more cool coaches. And so part of, I think, where Grassroots is and where we're trying to go, as David mentioned earlier, we're looking to expand into more schools. And to do that, we do need, new athletes brought to the table. So I think we're just looking for partnerships with the school system, charter or otherwise, to expand. We're looking at continuing research on the program. We've done some research to show that we do have a huge impact and a significant impact on the health literacy of our students who are coming in. And so we want to look at long-term benefits of the program and changing behavior. So we're looking at partnerships across all of those aspects. So folks can certainly go to our website at www.grassrootproject.org, and you can contact us there. You can donate on the site there and seek more information if you're looking for it there as well.
What a great project, and thanks for coming in all to tell us all about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks for having us.
Ryan Springer, David Lincoln, and Simone Counts with the Grassroots Project. And we're back. We have more news talk coming up in a minute.